Look at this world map. Somewhere on it are Greenland and Africa. You've seen them together your entire life. At first glance, nothing feels off. The continents seem balanced. The sizes feel right. This is the map most of us learn to trust. But buried inside it is one of the greatest distortions in modern geography. On this map, power is suggested by size. Some places are made to look dominant, while others are quietly reduced, not because they are smaller, but because the map compresses them. What feels familiar is not the same as what is true. Africa is 14 times larger than Greenland. 14 times? That isn't a rounding error. That isn't perspective. That's a catastrophic distortion. And the most unsettling part is this. This exact map shaped how we learned the world. In classrooms, textbooks, movies, news graphics, and documentaries. Our mental image of Earth was built on it. This map is called the Mercator Projection. It's the most widely used world map in history. On it, Greenland looks enormous. Russia feels endless. Canada and Alaska dominate the north. Africa, meanwhile, looks normal. Nothing about it signals that Africa is one of the largest landmasses on the planet. But when you remove the distortion, the illusion collapses. When Africa is shown at its true size, the entire United States fits inside it. China fits inside it. India fits inside it. You can squeeze in most of Europe too, and still have room left over. Africa isn't just big, it's overwhelmingly massive. Greenland, which looks like a giant on the Mercator map, is actually about the size of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Just one country inside Africa. Alaska, another apparent giant, is smaller than Libya. The map didn't just exaggerate, it inverted reality. So why does a map this inaccurate exist at all? Because it was never meant to teach geography. The Mercator Projection was created in 1569 by a Flemish cartographer named Gerardus Mercator. Its purpose wasn't education, it was navigation. In the 1500s, sailors didn't need accurate land sizes, they needed reliable directions. If you were crossing the ocean, you needed a map where drawing a straight line meant following the same compass direction the entire way. Mercator solved that problem perfectly. On this map, every straight line represents a constant bearing. For navigation, that was revolutionary. But accuracy came at a cost. To preserve direction, land stretches more and more the farther you move away from the equator. Near the poles, distortion becomes extreme. Greenland expands, Antarctica balloons, northern continents grow larger than reality. Countries near the equator remain relatively accurate, but everything north and south gets exaggerated. Mercator knew this. He understood the distortion. He never intended this map to hang in classrooms or living rooms. It was a sailor's tool. The Mercator map spread during the age of European exploration and empire building. On this map, Europe looks large, central, and dominant. Britain appears powerful. Scandinavia looks massive. Africa, despite being larger than North America and Europe combined, looks compact and manageable. Was this intentional propaganda? Probably not at first, but once this version of the world became standard, it stuck. And over centuries, it quietly shaped perception. Who looks big? Who looks small? Who appears central and who appears peripheral? Another reason is familiarity. When you grow up seeing one image of the world, anything different feels wrong. Equal area maps look strange. Oval maps feel incorrect. Not because they're inaccurate, but because they challenge what we're used to. Normal became truth. Here's the real issue. We don't navigate with paper maps anymore. We use GPS, satellites, real-time digital navigation. The original purpose of the Mercator map no longer applies to everyday life. Yet billions of people still picture Earth this way. And maps are not neutral. They don't just show the world, they shape how we think about power, distance, population, resources, and even how we interpret global news. This distortion is no longer just academic. the African Union has openly criticized the continued use of the Mercator map in education and media. Their argument is simple. When Africa is repeatedly shown smaller than it really is, it reinforces outdated ideas about importance and relevance. As a result, African institutions and educators have pushed for equal area maps, projections that show Africa at its true scale. On those maps, Africa doesn't look exaggerated. It looks accurate. This isn't about pride. It's about correcting a visual imbalance that has shaped global perception for centuries. Maps don't just reflect history. They can either repeat it or correct it. There is no perfect flat map of a round planet. Every projection makes trade-offs. Some prioritize area, showing countries at their true size. On those maps, Africa looks enormous because it is. Others aim for balance, minimizing distortion of size, shape, and distance. None are perfect, but many are far more honest. If you're going to hang a world map on your wall, it shouldn't reflect the needs of a 16th century sailor. It should reflect reality. Because when you spend your life looking at a map where Africa looks small, Europe looks oversized, and distances are compressed or exaggerated, it quietly reshapes how you understand the world. Greenland is not the size of Africa, not even close. And maybe it's time we stopped repeating a mistake we inherited and started looking at maps that actually tell the truth. We inherit maps the same way we inherit stories, rarely questioning who made them or what they leave out. But once you see the distortion, you can't unsee it. Because this was never just about Greenland or Africa. It was about how easily familiarity becomes truth. Maps don't only show the world, they quietly teach us how to see it. And when the picture is wrong, the understanding that follows is wrong too. So the next time you look at a world map, don't ask if it looks normal. Ask what it's been asking you to believe.